The Irie Place.
Hey, what's up, y'all? You are now tuned in to Royalty with Queen Talks, where we have a good time while talking some shit. I hope y'all ready. Okay, because I am. So, today's episode will definitely have you on the edge of your seat. Like, really, it gets just that juicy. Y'all make sure that y'all follow me down here. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Okay? So, let's talk about it. Today's episode, would you knowingly date a bi man? Would you? I know for me, I don't think I could do it. But I was watching a show last night and it was crazy. She saw her guy was with another man. And I don't know if she was ready to handle all that. Ladies, how would you feel? Would you date a bi man? If like you knew he was bi, could you be okay with that? I don't think I could. Because at the end of the day, I don't think that you would feel satisfied with me. I feel like you'd be feeling like you were cheated. And there are certain things that I guess men can do for another man that women can't do. How do y'all feel about it? Y'all comment and tell me what y'all think. Because I know that I would probably, I wouldn't say be disgusted, but I would be like, why you on me when you can have a dude? And y'all know these days, most of like the trans men and trans women, like they can double up and do what the real, I guess the actual natural born sexes can do. Like, have you ever seen some of these transgender women? They almost look better than real women. I mean, they've studied us for so long. They got the hair, the nails, the lashes, but that's too much. So y'all, I got a couple clips that I want y'all to tune into and tell me what you think about this. It's crazy.
See money come
crazy.
out, and he has another purse. This one looks a little bit shinier. He gets into the passenger side of the vehicle, and they drive. They arrive at a bar. The two of them get out, and we see that's a purse. We see them walk into a bar. They sit down, and they hold hands at the table. They leave. They go out to the parking lot, and that's when we see him hugging this man.
Oh, Lord.
Do y'all see her
before
face?
I let you turn around, they also do that. Gets back into the vehicle with this gentleman, and they leave the bar parking lot. He then drops money off at the house, and he walks
boy,
inside.
you sagging with a purse.
So this is getting completely strange. Katrina, on this day of our investigation, we see money in the house wearing no shirt.
This is ridiculous.
With the purse. He gets into
If
that
you
same
know
silver
that
vehicle,
this is what
and they
you
leave.
want to do,
they arrive at a bar.
why be with
That's when we
the
see money get out. That same gentleman, they go inside, and during this meal, Money receives a phone call. What you're about to hear is the audio from that phone call. Tell me if you can remember this day, let alone this conversation.
What's up, Money? What you doing?
y'all see him lying to her, telling her that he wants her.
I told you we're gonna go out to eat. I'm over here, you know what I'm saying, with my partner. I'm doing this fantasy football.
What time are you coming to the house?
Let me talk my shit on this.
Baby, chill out, baby. Don't start this today. Baby, I love you.
Okay, then. I love you too.
Now there, y'all saw that clip, right? Y'all didn't miss out on the beat, right? This is madness. And by madness, I mean he knows that he wants to be with his partner, but you still dating a woman. And of course, at this time, she didn't know. But ladies, how would you feel once you find out? Like, I know my heart would be torn into two, because at the end of the day, I would be like, why would you be with me when you could have him? But in the same token, Do you feel like men aren't able to be free about their sexuality, especially black men? Do you feel like it's a taboo topic? Like it's one of those things where he's sagging his pants. He looked like a regular thug, but should she have known based off of that he was gay? How would you know? How would you know that your partner is bi? I mean, I know that we live in a much more open world these days, and I know that there are certain things that we're okay with and that we're not okay with. But how would your family receive it if they saw him at a restaurant with a man? And they ask you and they like, girl, what you think about this situation? Y'all make sure that y'all comment and tell me what y'all think. What would you do? How would you feel? Have you ever dated someone that's bi? I know I had a lady that commented yesterday and she was telling me that she was in love with a bisexual man for years who later turned into a woman. And that's a little bit too much for me. And the reason why I say that is because at the end of the day, there's a lot of confusion. If you want to be a woman, that's okay. Then be a woman. But if you want to be a man who's dating women and actively dating men, is that something that you think that they should tell you up front? Like, hey, babe, I like you, but I also like him too? And is there a different standard for women? Y'all, if y'all are liking this content so far, it's really getting juicy, and I know. Make sure that you like and you subscribe and you share all of this, okay? Because it only gets better. Any topic you want to talk about, we can definitely dive deep into, okay? We will be here every Wednesday at about 1 o'clock, and I'll be going live, and we'll be discussing all of these different topics, okay? Especially this one. And I may read a few of y'all comments next week so y'all can kind of really understand that I need some feedback on this. I was a little torn at first because I want people to be able to live their lives and be free. But I also don't feel like you should lie to someone about how you look at sexuality. And I also feel like if a person wants to date someone that's bisexual, that they should be able to. Ladies, I just don't think I could marry somebody that was bisexual because the whole time I'd be thinking they was cheating on me. I couldn't do it. That's just me. That's Queen Talk's opinion, though. Not everybody else's, okay? Y'all, it only gets better from here, okay? We're going to be going all the way into some different topics. So tell me again what y'all think. And do you think he was in denial over him being, you know, how they used to call it back in the day, a tambourine player? Do you think he was in denial? I mean, he's wearing her purses. That's got to be the craziest thing. So, y'all, let's look at one more clip, okay?
Man, move for real, man.
Don't move now, bitch.
I mean, do normal friends, our guy friends, kiss each other when they go to lunch?
Y'all ain't saw us kiss because we ain't kiss.
Really? You sure about that?
Yeah.
You gonna keep lying to me?
Yeah, well, lying about what? I ain't gotta lie about nothing.
Man, move for real, bro. That's probably.
Yeah, I need to get paid, bitch. Y'all think y'all gonna do this? Don't pay me?
I got you guys on videotape. I've had people.
You ain't got us. Let me see.
You want to see it?
Yeah, bitch. Yeah.
Where's the iPad
This
at?
what you looking for, bitch?
Nah, I don't want
This
that.
what you looking for,
I
hoe?
don't want that.
That's what you looking for,
I don't
hoe?
want that.
Yeah.
Oh, she big tripping.
I know.
She is
What you talking
tripping.com.
to, bitch? What you talking about?
And she
I
kind
know.
of gutter and
Man,
manly.
I don't even want to talk about my.
Maybe that's why
I
you
know.
like her, because she
Quit
kind of
running, man.
exhibits
Follow me,
manly
Cause
behavior.
bitch, are you gonna do something, hoe?
Hey,
Got nothing.
nothing.
There's something
you ain't
that
got
we got
nothing.
to
So you're
think
not.
about.
Are you gonna keep lying to me? What's this?
And look at this homeboy with the
know what
piercing
that
on there. You
is.
didn't know?
That's not you.
I knew, sir.
Okay, what that? Okay, what that
Look
mean?
at that.
Why are you squeezing on his butt cheeks?
Homeboy.
The homeboy?
Yeah, that's a homeboy. So what
And
you
he had
talking
the nerve to
about?
defend it, so
Come on,
that's
man.
my
Let's go,
homeboy.
man. Stop talking
My
to me.
partner.
Yeah, what is bitch at? What
Ain't
is
your
bitch
partner?
at?
Come on, man.
What is
That's your
bitch?
love, but
Man, move.
your cuddle
Move. Get out of my
bear.
way, man.
Bitch, I'll spit on you, hoe.
But she done turned her head backwards, ready to go steal on him again. Okay, y'all, I gotta add my opinion.
Open the door, bitch. Open the door, hoe. Yeah, you bitches some hoes, hoe.
She
yeah.
feels hurt.
I'ma look at that.
Okay.
I'ma look at that. I know it,
Hey, let's get
pussy.
you out of here. They're calling the police right now. Come on, let's go. Everyone.
Y'all, I about fell out my seat. Are y'all on the edge of y'all seat yet? Because this right here was out of order. Now, I know this is not the same thing as you knowing that your partner is bi and being okay with it. But what if she in turn was okay with this? What if she told him, keep your partner? How would that make you look now that you've exposed him for who he really is? Or if he's been exposed? At the end of the day, I feel that she is allowing him to speak his truth. I don't agree with exposing him that way, but you know, he been lying to her. Ladies, it's got to be a crazy thing to find out that your partner is dating their homeboy. Do some men hang with their homeboys too much? Does that make you wonder? Because I was on the edge of my seat wondering, like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about how this even comes about, why he felt inclined toward her purse. And ladies, once again, would you knowingly date a bi man? Would you accept him after he's come out? Can you date someone who is bi? I don't know. Queen Talk says no. And if anybody has dated someone bi, tell me about your experience. Like, comment, and subscribe, okay? Because it only gets better from here. Okay? I've had enough of that now. Let's talk about a little bit something else. Let's talk about it, okay? You are still tuned into the Royalty Podcast. I'm telling you, it only gets up from here. My name is Queen Talks, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. And y'all see my arm candy? You can get you one too, okay? I will definitely make sure that I tag and link everything that I'm wearing if you want to also have some too, okay? Reese Closet, by the way. All right, so the next conversation that I want to have with y'all is, how soon can your mate meet with your kids? I know that some women, they'll meet a guy and maybe they'll think that they've hit it off, and all of a sudden, now he's meeting your kids? Let's talk about it. In my opinion, I think it should be at least 3 months before any man that you're dating meets your kids, or any woman for that matter. I'm totally open to any type of sexuality that any person has. But would you allow your mate to meet your kids just within the first week, 2 weeks? What's your dating timeline? How do you feel about that? Like, I feel that you want to get to know this person, and you want to know if they really like children. Like, can y'all kick it first? Can y'all get to know each other? Can y'all go on some dates? I mean, or maybe they can meet your kids in an open area so you can really see what they're like in public with your kids. How soon can your mate meet your kids? Some ladies I've heard say 6 months, 9 months, even some people have said a year. I think a year is too long. And then some people say not at all until we actually are like married. And it kind of like makes me feel weird about that. I want my mate to learn about my children and to be comfortable with them. And I want my children to, in turn, be comfortable with my mate. So I'd want to at least have them introduced or cross paths before we like really get super serious, like going down the aisle or whatever, or getting married rather. But I don't think within the first week or within the first month, because you never know. What if the relationship don't last? Now your kids done met somebody. Now your kids meet their uncle. You know how some of y'all do. Uncle. Ain't no damn uncle. Uncles don't spend the nights like that in mama's room. Okay? At all. But what do y'all think? Could you date a person for 6 months and get to know them and then allow them to meet your kids? Or would you say no? Or what if this person has seen your children and wants to meet your kids? How do you feel about that? Just in Queen Talk's opinion, it's a no-no. Children need an opportunity to be able to allow you to date, get to know this person really good. You never know. You could be dating an ex-murderer. I ain't saying that we dating ex-murderers, okay? But what if you did bring someone home that your children didn't even agree with? How would they feel about it? You think they'll run them away? Because I've seen quite a few children run people's mates away. And then at the end of the day, you be like, hold on, wait. But this my boo. Or what if your boo don't really care for kids? How do you feel about that? It can be super challenging. I promise it can. A little bonus topic with that. Once you have a mate and they do meet your children, does that instantly make them a step parent? Are you okay with your children calling them a step parent? And what are some of the rules and the guidelines that step parents can do? Would you allow your spouse to discipline your children? Y'all make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you share. I want to know how you feel about certain things. I know for me, I think that there is a certain level when it comes, and this is all my opinion, but trust me, my opinion is not law, and I definitely want to talk to y'all. So, if you would allow your mate to discipline your children, how far is too far? Can they physically discipline them? Or, and I'm talking about mate as in a step parent, if you want them to be called that, or do they call them by their name? That's something that you might want to think about before you date again. Is this something that my children would be okay with? Will my children allow this person into our home? And I mean, a lot of people don't consider the kids because they're like, well, they're just kids. But kids can ruin a relationship if allowed. And sometimes they do it because they know that this person is not a good candidate. It can be very interesting to discuss. So let's discuss it. Let's talk about it. So, to whoop them or to not whoop them, huh? No, I'm just kidding, y'all. I had to throw that in to kind of put a little curveball. But would you let your mate discipline your children, even if they're not biologically theirs? That's a good thing to think about. Make sure that y'all like, comment, and share. Okay? So my next topic that I want to briefly run through, and by the way, y'all are watching the Royalty podcast with Queen Talks. Okay? So my next topic is your ideal partner. So now we've kind of brushed along with, would you let your spouse meet your kids within a certain amount of time? How soon is too soon? We even talked about if you would date somebody that's bisexual and openly about it or not open. But what are some deal breakers for you? What are your 5 ideal qualities that you look for in a mate? I think for me, my number one quality that I look for is a person that's honest. I cannot stand a liar. If you got to lie to me, we can't kick it. Y'all know how the saying go. You ain't got to lie to kick it. I don't think that you should date anybody who cannot be honest with you. Now, don't get me wrong. I know different people look at honesty differently. But in the same token, if you have to lie about small things, then when it comes to big matters, I know you're going to be a liar. I know that I cannot trust you. And how can we trust each other with our finances if you already lying? Or trust each other with our emotions if you jump off the gate lying? Ladies, could you date a liar? I couldn't. That's a number one deal breaker. Another ideal quality that I look for in a person is a person that is giving, generous, not just with money, but with their time, their emotions, even with the things that they know. Because a selfish person or a person that doesn't have compassion is hard to deal with. 5 ideal qualities in a mate. Y'all get it started. I warmed it up a little bit for you. So the first thing that I've said, just to do a quick run through, is an honest person. The second thing on the list is a person who's generous. And the third thing is a person who knows how to handle their money. I've noticed that a lot of relationships, they tend to fall out over money. I mean, let's just be real. Money makes the world go round, right? Could you imagine being with someone and y'all not being able to discuss money, or they're bad with money and you may be good with money, and now all of a sudden y'all are dating and y'all are in the thick of it, and then boom. I mean, for me, I think that being good with money is very essential. Hold on, y'all. I got a comment. So, one of the people that had replied back to what I stated about a bisexual person said that they most definitely knew that this person was bi, and they were okay with it. To each his own. Like I said, for me, that's a no-no. But let's get back on topic. It was just a little bit of a curveball to just make sure y'all still here. So, if you bad with money, babe, we can't date. Point blank, period. For me. Can y'all date somebody who got bad credit or bad with money? How y'all gonna go out? Where's the future gonna go? Y'all may not even be able to go from point A to point B because they done spent their money on tennis shoes instead of paying the bills. These are things that you want to discuss before you date someone. Do you want a God-fearing person? Because that's my next thing. I need to be with someone who has a spiritual relationship, a strong spiritual relationship with God. Because it also shows that they're grounded. It shows that this person has a moral basis with them. Because, and I'm not saying that you have to go to church every weekend. I'm not saying that at all. Because some people will say that like, oh my goodness, I don't go to church, or I don't want to date anybody that goes to church. No. What I'm meaning by this is, can you be with a man if he's not even willing to pray for you, or be with a woman if they're not really willing to pray for you, or willing to take certain things to God or whatever they believe in? You got to have some type of a spiritual relationship, because there's certain things that they may be going through that you may not be able to counsel them with or help them with. But if they have a spiritual basis, they'll be able to take that up and kind of find their own little counseling and guidance. My next thing, I have to be with somebody with good hygiene. Bro, if you stink, don't ask for my number. No, it ain't. No. That's a no. Dove is cheaper than Jordans. Dove is cheaper than that iPhone. Okay, I like that. So Ruth's mama says he agrees with all these qualities. I agree too. But, I mean, could you be with somebody, Ruth's, if they was a little smelly? Like, would you talk to them? Would you counsel them? Would you be like, look, babe, your breath stink? Because I done met a couple dudes that was fine as ever, and their breath was tardy.com. And I mean, their breath was late to the party. Their body was there, but that breath stayed, that breath stayed home. They talked, and it was just halitosis.com. So I think for me, a deal breaker, number one deal breaker, a quality that I need, you have to smell good. You don't smell good, I can't go with it. Hey, Daryl Madison. See, you gotta have some good, you gotta smell good. You gotta want to be around your partner and you're like, that scent, that lingering smell of them just smelling good. You just be like, yes, baby. Okay. And I love a man that smells good. Ladies, y'all know how it is. When that man walk past you and you be like, Or when he leaves and you still smell him there, that presence is amazing. A next deal breaker for me, or not deal breaker, but an ideal quality rather, a person that's intelligent. How we gonna have a conversation if every time I'm talking, all you want to talk about is love and hip hop or what's going on in the rap world, or you don't have any basis or deep conversation in you? Now, I'm not saying that you gotta be woke. You know how everybody do. All of a sudden now, you get into a good conversation with somebody, they want to start talking about crystals. You be like, okay, come on, G. But you want to be able to talk about some good stuff with the person. You want to be able to talk about realness with them. Like, you want to date somebody that knows about FICO scores. You want to date a person that y'all can sit around and y'all can talk about what's going on in the world, not just on social media, but just in general. You want to be able to speak to someone who can speak life into you and has a good conversation going. And I feel like a lot of these conversations these days are very superficial, very surface. But what if you were talking to your partner and you were like, hey, babe, what do you think about what's going on with our world as far as the stimulus goes? And they're like, what stimulus? What's the stimulus? And you'd be like, have you lived under a rock? You don't know? So you want to be able to have these conversations. You want to be able to have someone who stimulates your mind. I mean, don't get me wrong. Good sex is a big quality too. But stimulate my mind first. And all those things come naturally. Do y'all think that sex should be a quality or a trait that you look for in a partner, good sex? What y'all think? Somebody comment and tell me what you think. You think good sex good is a quality? If they're not giving you good quality sex, would you leave them? That one got me. Because what if this person has all of the amazing qualities that you're looking for, but their sex game is trash? Do you think that they could learn? I think that you can teach someone if they're willing to learn. But I mean, that's one of those things where you want to know, like, if they sex game is trash, would you stay? Y'all liking this content? Because it's getting real juicy. My little gum just over here just, Y'all, I know you digging this because I'm having fun enjoying this conversation with y'all. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any topics that you want to discuss with me, I'm Queen Talks. And you tune into Royalty with me. Make sure that you want to talk about some tea. What do y'all think is so far about this content? Did you dig it? Let's talk about it. And I got another topic I want to talk. Y'all, sometimes I get happy, like real happy, and then that ADD kick in. Like you be like, okay, what was we talking about? Like a little squirrel. Okay. So once again, let's brush up on these topics again. Could you date somebody that's bi? Even as far as a metrosexual male, some women like alpha men. Could you date somebody that was like metrosexual? Or fellas, could y'all date a woman if she was like super manly or very alpha? Like some men like that. Some men like bossy women. I be seeing a lot of them. Like, I can't do anything. Happy wife, happy life. I don't agree with that necessarily. Sometimes the men be miserable and the wife be happy, but that's another conversation for another day. So let's talk about it. So y'all, like I said, every Wednesday we are here. We are live watching the Royalty with Queen Talks. And it only gets better from here. More topics, more conversations to talk about, and more juicy things, okay? Because there's a lot of good stuff going on in this world that we need to discuss, okay? Have y'all seen any red flags lately, like in a person that you're dating, that maybe you're like, I wouldn't want them to be my kids. I don't like this quality in them. Or are there some qualities that you might be able to interchange? Like for me, I'm always late. Everybody know that. It's not a good thing. I mean, I'm sorry, but I be late to places. Like after I put this eyelash on, I be tardy. I'm guilty. Some people may not like that. That may be an ultimate deal breaker for them. But what if I was willing to be on time? Do you think that they would change their opinion? I know for me, there may be one thing I would be able to interchange. Like, of course, you don't have to necessarily be book smart. But I mean, I guess we could have good conversations about stuff. We could definitely try to work that out. But that poor hygiene, that breath zaddy ain't gonna go. That breath gonna have to be a no-no. Okay? Y'all, it's so cute. There's always people texting me from Africa. I just be like, what time is it there? Side note, okay? We'll talk about that on another show too. Where the hell do they come from? I just don't know. But I do want to talk about our last topic. I hope y'all are enjoying this so far. It's Juicy Tea, Royalty with Queen Talks. Y'all, these are really good, by the way. I highly recommend. Look, I'm trying to do like how they do on Instagram. Oh, there we go. No, I'm just gonna cut that out. I'm not gonna put it on there. I can't get it right. No, I know we live. I'm just talking mess. Okay, so the last conversation I want to talk about is role reversal. I know we're just kind of like touching on it briefly. If fellas would date an alpha female, or if women would date a more feminine man. I think that roles have definitely reversed. I was looking at something the other day, and a gentleman was talking about how he got out the car at the gas station and saw a woman pumping gas while her dude was in a car. And when he approached her, the dude came out all masculine and strong, and was giving strong energy, and was upset that his girl was talking to this guy. But at the end of the day, G, if she was in a car, he wouldn't even been able to talk to her Because you would have approached first and been like, nah, Blair, she good. But I've seen this often. I see a lot of women who will have their dude in the car while they are pumping the gas, while they are putting air in the tire. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't feel like females cannot do certain things. But if my man there, should I really have to do that? Ladies, what do y'all think? Do you think that if your guy is with you and knowing values and morals, that you should be the one pumping the gas? Really? While he sits in the car? Should you be changing the tire? I mean, like I said, you want to know these qualities because you never know where you'll be. But you also want to be in a position where you don't have to necessarily do these things when your man is around or when there's a man present. Because I've definitely been places where I was kind of looking like a damsel in distress and a strong alpha male was like, okay, I got you. Let me help you. It's very crazy, like, the way that the roles have reversed. It's very crazy the way that women are automatically like, I don't need no man for that. I got this. And I know some women will argue the fact and say, well, I like doing that. So, sis, you ain't got no man in. You got a friend. I mean, or low-key a girlfriend. Because at the end of the day, in Queen's opinion, if you my man, it's certain things I'm not going to do. I'm not going to change my oil when you're right there. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to take out no trash. I just feel like that's dirty work. Now, if you ain't around, babe, and it's just me, of course I'm going to do it. If you're not around or you can't physically get there or there's not a man that's present that wants to help, I don't mind getting dirty and changing the tire or doing anything with oil or pumping the gas. But if you in a car, I've even seen some people where, and this is back home. I'm from Kansas City, y'all. Whoop, whoop. And a fella was in the car while his girl was asking for gas money. Where do they do that at? Let's talk about it. Would you be able to date a man who knowingly allows you to do things that are more male characteristics? Or do you feel like now that we've progressed as a people, that we don't have these gender roles anymore? Y'all let me know. Tap in. You are tuned into the Royalty with Queen Talks. And like I said, it only gets better. More tea, more tea. So, I'm going to sip my Celsius real quick. Y'all make sure that y'all like, share, and subscribe. It's a lot of stuff to talk about here. This is only episode 1, okay? And I hope that y'all enjoying yourselves. I hope that this is a safe space for us to discuss different things like gender roles and reversals. Like, it's very serious, these topics. And like, how do you approach it with your children? Like, if your son was to see a man in a car while you're pumping gas, how would he feel? Would he feel that he has to do that with his woman? Or would he feel like, hey, this dude can do it, so let me just stay in the car? I think we sometimes forget certain things that we're doing with examples. And maybe you don't have children. Maybe you're just cool with it and that's fine. Or maybe I just noticed that a lot of women, they don't have an issue with doing certain things because they are so used to doing it. But I think that they also want a man to do certain stuff. Like, I guess we all are kind of trapped in between independent and still thinking of gender roles. So, one thing I do want to let y'all know is that every Wednesday, these topics get better and they get juicier. And this Royalty allows anyone to comment. Kind of give me what your feedback about what you think. How y'all feeling about these topics so far? Do you think we should brush up more about dating a bisexual person? Would you want your mate to meet your kids early on in the game? Like, maybe just get that out the way so you can see how the kids interact with them. How do you feel about some things? Like, y'all let me know. I hope that y'all are enjoying this content as much as I am. And you are tuned into the Royalty with Queen Talks. I thank y'all so much for tuning in today. I hope that this has sparked some type of conversation pieces with you. Maybe you'll go home tonight and wonder, should I be pumping my gas? Should my man be pumping my gas? And fellas, maybe you feel like, look, she a little too alpha for me now. And you might want a more feminine woman. That will definitely be something we could touch up more on, because I feel like I'm very feminine. But I can definitely get alpha, okay? But I kind of know how to tame that lion, you know? You kind of walk a thin line with it. I thank y'all again, like I said, for tuning in. We got so much more to talk about. You are tuning into the Royalty with Queen Talks. And I thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'll see y'all next Wednesday.
The Irie Place.